It's been 7 years since the Oregon Department of Education issued its first school guidance for gender-fluid students. This week, ODE has expanded that guidance.
For one, it includes more explanation of the federal and state civil rights laws that apply to gender-expansive students. KATU's Joe English is live for us tonight. And Joe, you talked with the director of the ODE, but also to a group who thinks this new guidance isn't necessary.
Well, the ODE's goal, as they put it, is to make school a safe and inclusive place for all students, not just gender-expansive kids. And they think this new guidance will help students and families and educators accomplish that. But the Oregon Moms Union, which is a family and parent support group, well, they think educators are spending too much time on things that don't need their attention right now. Colt Gill is the director of the Oregon Department of Education. He says the research shows more guidance is needed when it comes to gender-expansive student bodies.
What we know from surveys from national organizations and from the Oregon Health Authority is that students who are gender-expansive or even have different sexual orientations do experience bullying and harassment in our communities and sometimes in our schools as well. That keeps them from regularly attending schools at times. It keeps them from fully participating and getting all they can from their education.
It looks like they took what used to be a 13-page guide and turned it into a 48-page guide.
But Mackenzie Pulliam, president of the Oregon Moms Union, thinks the top educators don't have their priorities straight.
Now, I think that these kids are in a crisis. We are looking at a lost generation as a result of, COVID school shutdowns, and we have got to prioritize academics really over everything else, I think.
Input for the revised guidance came from more than 500 students, parents, educators, gender support groups, and the Oregon Health Authority, among others. Well, I asked Colt Gill if he expected negative feedback on the new guidance.
We've seen these instances of hate show up in Oregon classrooms and Oregon school board meetings. What we truly believe, though, is that the vast majority of educators in Oregon get into this business because they care deeply about children and they want to support them and add to their educational experience.
Mackenzie Pulliam thinks there will be more parents like her making their voices heard.
Here with the recent release of these dismal test scores, I think there are a lot of parents out there that are overwhelmingly concerned with that. And so I think, looking that we're focusing on other things instead of these academics, I actually think there's a lot of parents that will be concerned with the lack of attention and focus on reading, writing, math, and catching our kids up on 2 years of learning loss.
Well, the 2021 Oregon statewide report card that came out in November showed sharp declines in math, English, and other achievements, and it was at every grade level. The ODE says a lot of work went into this guidance, though, and so we'll talk more about that effort coming up tonight on KATU News at 6. In Portland, Joe English, KATU News.
Joe, thank you.